What's your advice to those people with limiting resources, time or money, to get this traction, this customer traction?
I have three advice. First one is focus. Second one is focus. Second one is focus. I have many struggles because entrepreneur have many problems.
True.
If you don't like problem, don't be an entrepreneur.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Reactor Podcast. I'm your host, Jerome, and today we are diving into the fascinating world of cybersecurity and blockchain with Thomas Benoit, the CEO of Set in Stone. Hello, and welcome, Benoit.
Hello, thank you for this podcast. I'm so excited. It's my first podcast, so let's go.
Let's go.
I'm so ready.
Thomas is one of those rare entrepreneurs who creating a startup straight out of college and actually succeeded. He founding a company to solve one of the toughest challenge, which is the world of secure collaboration in enterprise. He helped so many corporate businesses face safeguard technical data and teams. And Set in Stone made a pivotal shift last year to focus on Web3 application security, a critical space for today's digital infrastructure. Also, in this episode, we are going to explore the early days of Set in Stones, all the hurdles and challenges that you faced during your journey, and also the strategy you face when you're involved with customers, market, personal branding, which is a topic very dear to my heart. And finally, also we discuss something that maybe some of this controversial look and controversial space is facing. It's the impact of blockchain on the environment. So I'm very excited because it's very dear to my heart. So let's go. So first question, it's very important for our audience. You know, you graduated from Georgia Tech like me in 2019. Very happy to have an alumni with me today. And you directly jumped into entrepreneurship. You know, how did you do that? You know?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, I support myself because I launched a startup after college at Georgia Tech. But I always have this in my DNA. I know that I want to launch a startup. Oh, yeah. So before going to Georgia Tech at the college, I did some freelancing mission in security to help some small and medium company to find vulnerabilities and to fix them. So I have a lot of experiences in entrepreneurship. But when I was in France, I don't know how to do. Because in France, there are some entrepreneur ecosystem. I was a little bit shy about this, okay. A little bit introvert, so I don't know how to to undertake. And when I was at Georgia Tech in USA, the culture is very different. Yeah. The ecosystem is more mature. For example, the incubator of Georgia Tech at TDC exists since 80s, almost 50 years entrepreneurship. Sure. So they know entrepreneurs, they know how to accompany every entrepreneur. Don't care about the youngness, the age, the city. So this give me a message. You can't launch a company after college. So I'm thinking, why not me? So I launched the company when I come back to France. Okay. And so after that, I love new technology. Okay. I found some opportunity in security, in blockchain. I have a specific interest in security and blockchains for almost 9 years.
Wow.
Working with company, taking place of this. So for me, it was clear. Go.
Tech entrepreneurship was your way.
Yes.
Was your way of going. And so, how did you find the idea for Set in Stone? The original idea, or maybe there was an idea before even helping corporate businesses.
That's a big question because yes, at Set in Stone we did a shift 1 year ago. Because initially, when I started my company, it was during the COVID period. Okay. During the COVID, there's a big problem for company. Everybody was stick at home, block at home. So the company changed its mind to secure the data of the company. Because before the COVID, everybody working the building of the company. So managing security, it was as a securing castle. Yeah. Building big walls of tower to find a bad user in the area. You are three guys to open the door so when someone would go to a company. However, with the COVID, the mass effect of remote working, everybody was stuck at home. So it was not a castle, it was a guerrilla. A little bit, and maybe you have that. The security of your home is okay, but not good. So the need of security of management was changed. Is why we have launched Setting Stone first, the security of remote working, a big company to manage remote working and have a traceability of the threats that target the company.
Okay.
So that's the initial idea. That's the
So yeah,
context.
that was a very big problem because everybody went just from day one into remote working, and so at that point, especially during COVID time, how did you get any even like resources to help you? And, there was no accelerator going on, no even experts were blocked at home, and you could not meet some new guys who could help you and experts.
I had a great opportunity before the COVID. 3 months before the COVID, I was incubated at Stationeuf. So I have a desktop at Stationeuf, so I could work with this ecosystem.
Okay.
And for me, it was very important when I start to undertake to fund some incubators. So I was in many incubator programs at Stationeuf, other launch startup program at Systematic, for example, to help me to build my company and build the business side, because I have all the tech side. I know how to implement the product, but I have to learn how to sell something. It was a challenge. So for me, it was crucial. So I was stationary before the COVID, so I have the ecosystem to find clients, some people to help me to build something. It's very important.
And you surrounded yourself on the Station F side, but let's talk about the other people, like all your college graduate in Georgia Tech, the one in France, maybe your family, and that's a really big topic for anyone listening to Reactor. It's usually like the people you love, you care about. They sometimes don't understand your choice because it's not safe. It's not a long-term, full-time employee contract. How did they react, and how did you react to their reactions, if any?
That's a very good question. So my family, my close friends support me.
Perfect.
In the first step, they did not understand what I'm doing because I'm talking about security, about blockchain, because my solution was based on blockchain for the traceability. They did not understand what I'm doing, but they felt that I have the energy, so support me. So the other problem was the other people, normal people, because they challenge me everything. Every time I introduce myself, they challenge me. And what you are not doing that? Why doing this? I have some dumping question, stupid question about my topic. One day, another entrepreneur, not an entrepreneur, a guy in marketing, tell me this question: what's the way of a market study? Not the merge page way, because for him, a good market study weigh 750 grams.
Yeah,
was stupid. In France, there are so people challenging you when you want to launch something in France and challenging you for entrepreneurship, if you want to kids, if you want to go another path in your career. That's the more difficult part.
And, you're pretty young. You started the company straight out of college, and it's not dependent on the age, but usually when you start a company, you don't have the experience in the field, and you can experience this impostor syndrome, and it's very common in entrepreneur. But from our interactions before, I didn't really feel that you had this. Did you experience impostor syndrome? And now, what's your trick to face this? Okay, you're young, you don't experience in this field.
In fact, it's a big issue, the imposter syndrome, because you want to start something, you are just born in a new world. So you have to prove to everyone you can do this role and to yourself. So my trick to manage the imposter syndrome is to don't lie. Be honest, humble on what you can bring on the table about value. And in my case, I bring something new. During the COVID, I responding to a new issue for companies, remote working.
Yeah.
My solution was new, traceability of threats of vulnerabilities with blockchain. So that's new. So I have few competitors. But few competitors. So I could be listening, people listening me for that.
So let's now dive in directly into Set in Stone. And I'm sure you know the exercise, but can you pitch the company in under a minute?
Of course, yes. So we are Set in Stone. So yes, firstly, because we are talking about COVID, about security of remote working, we have did a shift 1 year ago. Because remote working, the need of remote working was diminishing. So we have to do a pivot. And now Set in Stone, a company in the financial world, a representative company to have a better security. So it's why I would pitch. It's important for the context.
Yeah, true.
So now I can do the exercise. One pitch. Ready?
Let's go.
So we are Set in Stone, and we make your digital asset as secure as stone. So we are a financial actor and representative company to find vulnerabilities and fix them in few minutes. Why we do this? Because blockchain application still face a critical issue in security. As a firm from the real world of finance coming in the total value of crypto, the risk of security remains one of the most limiting factors for the widespread adoption of the blockchain, the crypto, but about security fear. It's safe or not? In fact, it's safe, but need something to prove that safe. And so, with high stake at play, the industry of blockchain meet a prompt surge to security advancement to prove that. So the question now is, will we let the Web3 democratization miss the boat? The response is no.
Yeah.
Because we can do automation. We can automate the security. So we Set in Stone, you have just to click on the button. And a few minutes later, you have a full scan of vulnerabilities of your blockchain application and a custom-made report to find vulnerabilities and fix them. Our goal is that the risk management of your application is so easy with Set in Stone.
Nice.
Maybe it's more than 1 minute, but
that was clear because you set up the problem, the landscape, and also the solution at the end. So that's necessary. So you don't have to.
So currently, the activity of Set in Stone. So we will not provide anymore the solution based on traceability for remote working. Was the genesis of Set in Stone, but now we are on the wave of helping this actor to the widespread adoption of Web3.
And how did you manage this transition from helping, and you were helping like major corporation, like huge customers, to helping maybe not tiny, but tinier companies working on Web3 applications? Did you have a time where you had those two clients at the same time, and you're reducing the amount of contract you had on one side and validating the need on the other side and signing more contract? How did it go?
Yeah, that's a good question, because the shift don't be so obvious when I present that. But because I have a side activity of my initial company.
Okay.
So because I have security skills, so I love security, I love hacking thing.
Okay.
So sometimes I help other builder to do audits, audit code, writing report, finding vulnerability. Short mission, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So what's the side activities? And sometimes I have also other type of clients, not startup, but some company, major corporates, want an audit of potential Web3 product based on blockchain. So this mattering in my head is something it could be interesting to do. And because I'm initially a builder, I built something in the blockchain, I have the perfect client because I was the client of my currently offer. So it was cool on this point. So I identify the needs in the market by my experiences and just making. After that, initially I want to have 2 different companies.
Okay.
But the need in remote working decrease.
Yeah.
True. Because companies don't like remote working.
Anymore.
They don't control the productivity of the team. So the need of security is very correlated with the need of remote working. So my selling decreasing. So it was a challenge. So I have two choices: close the company or have another activity. And my side activity generates me some revenue to tell me, do something with that. Because the problem is waiting time to have a session. In some period, waiting time for a session with me was 2 months to 3 months to 6 months. That's very long. Because there are few talents, few people can helping people to have, firstly, security evaluation. Secondly, security evaluation of a very specific product, application based on the blockchain. Very technically, very different from the other product you can find. So I had the idea to automate the security because currently financial actor, big bank, investment fund, every financial actor won't take interest of the blockchain, take interest of the product based on blockchain or digital asset. Could be an NFT, could be a numeric digital twin of a wine bottle for the wine investment, could be a contract on the blockchain to facilitate integration, could be treasury bond of the treasury, the dollar treasury bond. So in the wine of the time, you found this type of need. So for myself, the automation security is just required. There are few talents, the technology is very hard to take because you need very specific skills, and the hype and the timing, the tempo of the hype is important. Because sometimes Web3 blockchain are very trendy, other time no. So you need to speed. So it's why we are launching Set in Stone, and we think that automation is important to manage your risk management. So the security of the product you want to evaluate or just to building in your company.
So you are experiencing the establishment of a foundation for blockchain. You see massive adoption from all sectors. And also translating what you just said is that there are more and more actors in that field that are adopting it massively and also putting it in their systems. And with this, your side business came, your primary business, because also the first one started to decrease. Yep. And that's a great example, like to say that, listen to the market signs, It's important to say, okay, where's the world going now? And you pivoted after 4 years, you could have said, it's working. What I'm doing, it's working. I need to push harder. But that's a trend. There are less and less remote working options. And COVID is out now. And so you need to adapt. And also there was like more and more side contract that could, be signal for a bigger problem. So yeah, and so so you started like a year ago, let's say, with this new offer. What's the big challenge we are the 10th of January 2025, and now we're filming. What's your challenge for 2025?
That's a good question, because when I'm talking is we start 2025, so challenge very fresh. So in 2024, we have launched our first automation product. During the Paris Blockchain Week, a big event in Europe take place at Carousel du Louvre in Paris. We have many feedback, very positive feedback. We want to go further beyond our objective. And because in first time we are just targeting builder and Web3, some people, working to do application Ethereum, someone want traceability supply chain based on blockchain, for example, pharmaceutical product, wines, food also. But we have talked to different actors, the financial world. Financial world now is ready to cooperate with blockchain. It started 1-2 years ago to cooperate with some protocols, give interest. JP Morgan, BlackRock, take care of that. So there's something interesting to do, and we're thinking to target this type of actors. So in 1 month, I will be in London and in the city talking with this actor, and feel the opportunity to do something with this type of actors.
So you're targeting long-term relationship and, trying to show the product and, see if there is a interest coming up.
With target, this marketing target, that's very interesting and funny because my first target was big corporate. I do shift, and now it's again big corporate.
But in the different industry, like
different industry, different type of actor. But the way to find this type of actor to book demo is very similar.
It's very similar. Yeah. So what are the long-term goals? Even if 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, you could have said be a leader in cybersecurity for large corporation. Maybe now it's shifting, but let's say 3 years from now, with maybe what you see in the blockchain and cybersecurity in tech world right now happening, what are the next move for the company? Maybe offices somewhere. If there is a place. Yeah.
The next trend of blockchain. That's a good question. There are many things is building right now.
Okay.
Many trends. There are firstly, do you want a long trend about the narrative of blockchain, or do you prefer a short and maybe more spicy trend? What do you prefer?
Go for the spicy one.
Spicy one. It's a very tech trend because people in blockchain are tech guy.
Yeah, sure.
So they are very tech interest. And they were very frustrated because blockchain and artificial intelligence did not merge, but they have merged. Some days ago, I read the report of what's the name? A16Z.
Okay.
The big fund of the California, of Mark Anderson.
Yeah, I understand your worries.
They're stream based on crypto.
Yes.
And they found something interesting. Do you know what is the problem of AI now, right now?
The problem with AI?
Can automate everything, but they can buy a plane ticket. They can buy, services for subtractor.
Sure.
For example, a freelance to do a logo. They cannot buy, cannot trading. Why they can do that? Because they are no wallet. They are not a bank account. But with crypto and blockchain, you can associate your agent with a wallet. So, and I've discovered a platform on the blockchain based named Virtual Protocol. Virtual Protocol is something to make agent with a wallet, find agent, and to buy agent. And few days ago, an agent with a wallet was blocked in this task because it could not the specialty. So in going Virtual Protocol and find another agent, make an offer, take a job, and so paying another agent to do something. So a little artificial economy is born.
Wow, so that's a spicy one.
Very spicy.
So there is an AI job holder out there, there are AI people.
So maybe in a few years, an agent will raise money, build a company, employ some humans.
Go to YC.
It's a YC story. So.
It's AI YC. It's like it's a virtual, and then you can.
For me, it's not paradise, but for the California, for the guy from YC, why not? But I found this very spicy, so
yeah,
it's a spicy trend blockchain.
Okay. I was more talking about, maybe 4 set in stone. What are maybe the 3-year goal that you have? Or do you even do 3-year goal anymore? Or you just go like 1 year after the other? What are your, let's say, strategic thinking for the company?
I have a vision of course, because I'm an entrepreneur, so I have a vision.
Sure.
So in next year, our goal is very clear. Web3 should be fully safe. Fully respect risk management so that widespread adoption could be free. So we want to work with every builder in the world, the main hub, and every financial hub in the world. So now we are working to make this hub. 1 month I will be in London to discuss about that. I'm planning to go to university to find that. So we are looking to meet this person and do some partnership with top actor. Some will be Web3 native actor to provide data on the blockchain or the analysis of the market. Another could be traditional actor. But this is our goal for 2025. But yes, it's a resolution. We are in January, so all is possible.
Okay, cool. Let's go to another topic which is very dear to my heart: is sales and marketing strategy for tech
I love
companies.
selling. Yes. Please go.
And so when we come back to 2019, did you start selling your product before it was ready, or how did you approach this phase?
That's a good question. So in fact, I had some few experience in freelancing security.
Okay.
So I always selling something without products, just only my services.
True.
But for my first product, I was a perfectionist. I want that all was perfect. So I'm waiting. No, not possible. But one day I was tired. I just want to sell. So I signed my product, go in the market. My product was not perfect, but someone buying that. So it's validating. If with this money, I can buy another version. It's not important. So now, maybe I'm not selling my product before the end of the first version, but I'm talking about my product before the end of the first version. Just to have some feedback and validation is very important. Because the worst thing to do in startup is it takes much time to build something, but something not fit with the reality.
Yeah, no one wants something
No
that
one
no one
wants.
or it's just nice to have. It's not a must, It's that. And actually, you're coming back to the early days. You said you were first selling to corporates, and then now you're moving back to try to sell to financial corporates. It's a big topic for startups, even 50 people startups. How do you approach large customers as a startup? What's your tricks? How do you book meetings with them?
The very interesting question, because when I start to sell to big corporate, I was intimidated because they're big company, many people.
Yeah.
How do that? But I remember one thing: decision maker are human as me. So thing is a trust transaction. So my main issue was how to do this trust and how to meet this decision maker. So as human decision maker going to event. So I did every breakfast in Paris on turbulent security to find a decision maker, CISO, so chief of security officer. Find them, talking with them, and found something interesting to talking about the conference, about their life, about the actuality, and tag contact detail. Say, it could be interesting to have lunch or, something, coffee after the breakfast. I was there, I'm thinking about energy, so they often accept. So I take a lunch. After that, I'm talking about my solution. It could be interesting to have a demo with my colleague team. So I have a demo. After that, I could do the process.
Sure.
So chain of demo to validate my product.
So it's
take a very long time. But it's working.
Yeah, but it's very in person. So it's funny because you work in IT, digital, but you have to meet people because basically behind the digital are humans.
Yeah, for me it's very important to be authentic because trust is based on your emotion, your feeling of the people from your guts.
Sure.
So digitally is a good way for me to have the seed of your own sales. Talking about your brand, talking about your product, find the people, have a brief conversation, but it's necessary, it's required to go physically to find the people, because it's better to do a sales front of a sunset with a glass of wine than going on, Reddit, LinkedIn with someone with no much picture. So
True.
Not the same experience.
And maybe it's not shifting a lot, but is there any differences between the sales process for the first product compared to the second one, so the Web3 application security audits? Do you see? Do you take the same process, or can you do something different?
I love selling because it's simple but subtle. Everything is similar but not differ drastically.
Okay.
Because selling to someone in the security team of big corporate is different to selling to a CTO of startup building a Web3 product. But the process globally could be the same. Find the man, talking with the man, have a first demo, sending a quote, talking with them, of another session to talking about the quote, and signing.
Okay. And
Globally
the process is not...
Could be longer because in some company you have many decision maker.
True.
It's subtle because sometimes one people of the official world to do decision, but is not the right person. So there are many things to take interest before sales, but again, it's the same exercise. So one experience can help you to another.
And you said you were attending a lot of events, and maybe for me, what I see from my point of view is that there are many events out there, and sometimes you get unfocused from actually making the sales. Even if you can meet the person at an event, you still have to do like the follow up and saying quote, booking demos. And
it's very time consuming. Yes.
It's very time consuming.
It is time consuming to find people. Is why early in my experience, I lost the time to find people, meet them, because sometimes I'm not the real decision maker. So I've learned I take note, record of my selling and to improve myself.
Okay.
And with this, I could build a sales process. Some part I can delegate some other sales. Some part I need to be here. So I can focus on the most important thing, the most important prospect, the most important step, the most important thing to give to the prospect. So with time, I can iterate my process and have only the essential.
And do you have one tips for our audience to pick the right events to go to and say it's hell yes or it's no?
Very simple. The name of the audience should match with your product. If the name of the event match with your product, people here are for something similar to your product. Very simple.
Very simple.
But I've decided.
Okay, cool. What's your approach to personal and company branding?
Big question, because I'm very frustrated about personal and company branding for two points. First point, I'm working security. So the industry of the confidentiality, how to communicate when you should be secret, confidential. That's a good question. And my second point was, I'm talking about the first point. So about the security, confidentiality. So the game was to communicate yourself, but just the intentional word to the prospect. So I did many newsletters. Okay. Many newsletters. I built my own channels on special topic to have the opportunity to talking about my product, my advancement, without to show my product to unnecessary people.
Yeah. So
I did that. I communicate on LinkedIn and some platform. For the Web3 part, I have many communication on Telegram, Reddit, subreddit, because our community is middle close. So if I start another company, not in cybersecurity, the first thing I will do is personal branding. I'm very frustrated. I have the feeling that I love this exercise, but I don't do this plainly in my company. And the second point I'm very frustrated about personal branding is that on LinkedIn, when you see people talking about personal branding, sometimes it sounds empty.
Yeah.
Talking about themselves, what they're doing. Guillaume going to the event. Guillaume have a new intern. Guillaume have a promotion. Okay, it's cool, but in fact, it's not interesting.
Yeah.
I loving personal bonding is a story. When people talking on the story, I love when a hero start a quest, are the problem, and you follow the story of the people, each step of the story. I found that very interesting. But because personal bonding is trendy, some people don't do the exercise plainly, so it's frustrating. But when you do this, I love this type of story.
And so your inbound strategy is still on this newsletter that you share, or
Yes.
is it? Yeah, okay. And so how many people are following this newsletter? And
Today on the Web3 newsletter, we have how many readers? 100 reader
Okay.
each month.
okay,
So I started this newsletter 3 months ago. The new newsletter.
okay, yeah, you know.
So yes,
And it's to share your value, your expertise.
Yes.
Yeah, more.
I share some trends about the Web3, about security. When there are arc in the ecosystem, we explain the arc. What's the steps to the arc? We explain where the vulnerability found, the last vulnerability found in the ecosystem, explain how it's working and how to mitigate the vulnerabilities. So it's a great and valuable content for our target. But people have a sensibility of the security of the Web3 and the risk management. And they are report to see about the news about Set in Stone.
Yeah,
What
sure.
we are doing.
For sure, for sure. And then you go and you take some of those articles or bits of it and share on Reddit and say, for this problem, I shared, you can do this and you can read my newsletter article about
I did this.
That's what you do. Okay.
I did 3 things.
Okay.
First one, going to community and just, hey, it's a new edition of my newsletter, want to subscribe, just reply me. Another thing, I contact people directly.
Okay.
So could be person I found during an event, people, or maybe an interesting prospect. I send a call messaging.
Okay.
I know you are working in this field.
Might be interesting.
I'm working on that. If you are interested, just tell me.
Okay.
And sometimes I'm doing the technique of secret newsletter.
Okay.
So I have the email of someone,
Okay.
send a message to this person, say, I know you love this topic.
And you forward it.
Yes, forward that. So if you're interested, you can read that. If you think other person could be interested, send that, tell me that. And so if you don't want that next month, just tell me. In the most oftenly people reading my newsletter, so because I have a great target. The most important thing with the secret newsletter is to target, to be sharp in the targeting. My role is not to disturb people.
Yeah, true. And you're tackling a very important point is usually when I talk to CEO, because how many employees do you have already?
Our little team, we are 5 people.
And so usually when you're at that size, the CEOs tell me, or CXO, whatever, they say, I don't have time to produce expertise value for free. And so what's your strategy to actually put time on it every month, every week? Or do you delegate also as well? Because, that's one of the good things you can do is say, I have my experts in my team, and if they spend 2 hours a week just, telling about what their product, they empowers them to.
I'm targeting in my team the most interesting people for the newsletter.
Okay.
And we co-writing the newsletter.
Perfect.
For myself, it's important to writing because I'm a CEO of the vision. And for me, to have time to do a newsletter, writing something you want to read. Because if you don't want to read, for you, it's just you lost a lot of time. But if something does not exist, or something that exists but not enough precise or not the right level of precision technically, could be frustrating. So I'm writing this newsletter firstly for myself because I'm interesting. It's my technical watch. I'm sharing my technical watch to my prospect, to my clients.
And
so I take pleasure to do this.
Yeah, and that's and I'm facing the same thing because I'm passionate about deep tech and climate tech companies, and especially how you sell those technical stuff. And a lot of people tell me, all the time, how do you get the time to do Reactor, to do this, and to do this interview? I love this. It's like I basically love looking at my LinkedIn and finding about this companies to raise money, and I'm like, how do they sell this? And this is passion for me, and this is the same for you. It's like you're turning your passion into value and value sharing, expected sharing. And that you would do the same for yourself, You would read this and you say, okay, man, I'm gonna put it straight, and even if no one's look at it, you're looking at it. You're the first reader of this letter.
Yes, I'm my first client.
Exactly.
I don't fall in love with my product, but I'm first client. Because I could be my first client, and could be tricky because I'm looking against me, because if I'm my first clients, I could do something very interesting for me, but not for the other. It's very important to listening to the other, the feedback.
Yeah, true.
So if in any process, I have a step about feedback, to have return, to know what I can improve, to don't be constant in a growth. So for me, it's important.
And so, you're tackling it to a very sensitive problem. It's like, if you imagine you don't have the money to go to some fair, you're a student, you're early employee, you don't have the time, because time is money. Because you're a full-time employee, you cannot go to this fair to start selling your offer. What's your advice to those people with limiting resources, time or money, to get this traction, this customer traction?
I have 3 advice.
Go.
First one is focus. Second one is focus. Second one is focus. If you can, I think the best value is a value you focus on the need of your clients. You don't need to have something very broad, very global. Only focus on the need of your client, the most important. So to focus on the clients, you should focus the right people. Don't lose time with people mid interest, and you want just a part of your product or have a market fit. Focus on your content, focus on main features, focus on main things that respond to the need of the client. Very focus your time, because we're entrepreneurs, we spend much time to do the company. We're passionate, we love our job, but we have one life. So we want a family, we want to see our friends. It's important to do the main thing during the working day, to have time to do your life, to enjoy your life.
What's your approach to pricing? How did you started a product 1 year ago?
The mystic question of pricing in entrepreneurship.
That's always.
I've seen many things about pricing in entrepreneurship. One day a guy coming to me say, "What is your strategy about pricing? What is your math formula?" I have no math formula. He showed me a math formula with 10 terms to how to find the right prices. I think this is bullshit. Prices is about the vision of the client of your product. So first day, I think the vision of my product is a pricing X. So I propose my product at X. Not publicly, only on the demo, just to tell. If the people say, okay, it's very interesting with X, for the second meeting, I will make X plus something.
Sure.
And increment. Until a day someone say, and it's a bit costly. okay, it's costly. And I stop.
It's interesting because actually you work in security. So, they don't talk to each other, so the quotes stay private, stay silent. So,
depending on the product, because my first product the code was silent, because depending on the structure, depending on the type of remote working. But the most financial thing is not the price, because the price, from my side, is really important to be transparent to a client about the price.
Yes.
Because I want to bring value, not to sell money.
Exactly.
Confidentiality in security is more about your features, because some people are bad people, want to exploit your feature to attack your clients.
Yeah.
It's my protection, not the market, but about the bad guy.
And did you ever even offer a free subscription to gain traction to your product? You never did that in the past?
That's a great question, because I do the two possibilities.
Okay.
a freemium and not freemium.
Okay.
With a freemium, the advantage your client can try your product and have a visibility, should have a relationship with your product, relationship to motivate them to buy your product. However, in some area, it's not working because your price is also communication. Price is a message. Anyone can try the product. Maybe for some people, it's not valuable. Necessary to do a demo, long presentation because I take time to talk with you because you're a valuable decision maker. So with this type of factor, no free part.
Yeah.
Could be a trial period because it was just a few days. It's for you.
It's for you, yeah.
Depending on my prospect. So, because sometimes you do something that's very important for your clients is the thing you do. For other clients, no. So it's why it's very important to listening to prospect and the culture of a big corporation, the same than culture of the Web3 company. With Web3 company, freemium is a great thing to do. With big corporate, no.
One thing that is really working in sales is have your own clients being your referral and references for next customer. Do you actually use this technique a lot, or is it something that you cannot do because it's security purposes?
No, it's possible in security to do that because your clients can talk to other prospects, their friends that use this solution. Could be interesting.
Yeah.
In fact, it's possible. Some growth hacking technique use this leverage.
Yes.
But it should be natural. Your client should have the motivation to refer your product. So the first thing to do is to build a good product that people love. Because he loves the product. He can talk about doing diner with other decision maker, doing cocktail, talking about, yes, I use this type of solution. It's interesting. Do you use it? So it's why, for me, it's simple. Build a good product and just something respond to the need of the client. You have something to share your product to a client. For example, for the Web3 target, Web3 builder, we can share the vulnerability scan of the application is public. You can share the grade of security to investor, to user, to other developer. You can share it if you want on Telegram, and if you want on Twitter, if you want on WhatsApp, if you want. So it's a way to refer the product. But the motivation of a client to refer is that he loves the product and offer value. That I did a great job. I have a great scan, so I can show you that I did the job.
And so is there like a patch secured by Stone?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect. That's like audited and secured by Stone. Perfect. That's something that, that's a marketing, invisible marketing for you, because it's a proof for the customer. They say, okay, and I've seen it on this website. Even they are not clients. They say, okay, that's like it's when we were kids, secured by Avast. When we were in Windows.
The same strategy, yes.
Exactly. That's a good mark, and you put your name everywhere. Let's shift back to the Web3 industry.
Yes.
In the recent year, there's been some talks about the blockchain, cybersecurity, cryptocurrency not being a very long-lasting and maybe more volatile industry. Do you think there is a long-term establishment happening right now with the adoption that we talked about earlier? Is it a trend, or is it something that's going to last forever?
It's a long-term trend. It's a long-term trend because institutional and finance and big corporate are not the same time as startup. So why it takes time. But this trend is a three-part. First one was the rebellion phase, cooperation, integration. When I'm discussing with a banker, with other people in finance, then what is the phase of the trend? Up 2 years ago was in the rebellion phase. Web3 and bank want to cooperate with each other per enemy. And after that, 1-2 years ago, because of traction in blockchain, because client of bank going to the bank and say how to buy Bitcoin.
True.
So bankers say it has something to do. They're calling the protocol, calling company to know what's possible to do partnership or not. And now we are at the early phase of the stage, because there are some meeting in the city, in London, Wall Street, on this topic. And many in 5 years, at the early of the 20-30 years, we have integration. As online banking, because the same process, online banking was rebellion of a cooperation integration, some bank will buy some product based on crypto. Maybe some stablecoin based on the bond of the treasury, maybe some lending protocol. I don't know, but it is a roadmap. So the volatility will be reduced volatility with time. But something I've found interesting is the volatility of crypto. Do you know why there are volatility in crypto? In fact, why the price of Bitcoin going up, down?
It's
you know what?
cycle. No, it's because of cycles of halving of crypto. Is it related to?
That's the cycle. The halving of cryptos is an event. So in the Bitcoin, that mark a new cycle in the Web3 in the blockchain ecosystem is super important, and each cycle offer a new opportunity, offer a new narrative. But initially, why there are volatility, it's about liquidity. Few people are using crypto, so the price it was just sufficient to buy a crypto with a big amount of money to change the price. But that is time was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
there are more liquidity, more users, so the volatility decreases.
Okay,
decrease. So I think this aspect is just it's not a good question, the volatility, because as the ecosystem maturing, as a financial actor going on the market, as the final user use the crypto, as there are liquidity, less there are volatility.
So it's a trend that is growing, but there are cycles, and
Yeah.
we say, and so we focus on the peak, down and up,
Yeah.
but as a matter of fact, it's going up. It's really going up.
Yes, zoom
Generally,
out,
if you
just on
take
Bitcoin.
a
In
step
zoom
back.
in, it's looking something like this. Not so interesting. I will zoom out,
Yeah.
a clear growing. So I think people, because they have no time to get interested in crypto, have only a local vision. But globally, it's something of an impact on the world, impact on the way to do transaction, impact to manage finance. So it's something interesting.
Something that is very dear to my heart is the
Yeah, of
environment.
course.
Let's go. Let's go with that topic. I just read that the 17th country in the world is actually, AI. It's all this training algorithm in the world. And, and what's your take about blockchain and cybersecurity impact on the world? Is there something we can do, or is it already in the mind of this industry and in your mind every day?
Yes, for my it's important. The impact is important. I enjoy doing company because I earn money, of course, because I need money to feed myself. But impact in other satisfaction, because when I see people have not the possibility to have a security, or are very hard to have security of something, they are safe now. It's very satisfying.
Do you think the blockchain is really having a tough take on the environment, or is it okay compared to AI, compared to transportation, and there is no a growing trend as well for blockchain?
I love blockchain because it's a very interesting object in the history, the tech history, because artificial intelligence, everybody could understand artificial intelligence, because in literature there are many books talking about science fiction, talking artificial intelligence.
Sure.
10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So everybody one day in his life have read something about artificial intelligence.
Sure.
Blockchain is different because blockchain was born 15 years ago, but there are few things talking about something similar to blockchain literature. So it's a very, very new philosophy of the technology, very new approach of the technology with blockchain. And I think that's interesting because it's new, everybody have an opinion on the blockchain. Some people love blockchain. I love blockchain, of course. And some people hate blockchain. Says it's useless, has nothing to do, is terrible for the consumption of energy. So it's why I think blockchain have an impact on the history because they are very new. They bring something that everybody can expect. Is why I take interest in blockchain. But I was alive before blockchain. I'm sure you have a life after blockchain. So just a step of my life. I'm very pragmatical because I'm engineer at Georgia Tech,
Yeah,
Georgia
sure.
Tech people are very pragmatical. So serious, not always funny. But I stay pragmatical on that. But in fact, blockchain marks something in the history of tech.
Yeah, so it's pretty new. We're still uncovering all that
Yes.
implies. Yeah, so it's really early days of this. And so yeah, that's actually a great transition to my next question. If someone wanted to get a job at your company set in stone, and what's your strategy to ramp up your skills in Web3 and blockchain today? With all the things that are there.
So firstly, about blockchain, every people at Set in Stone are not blockchain developer. Could
Okay.
be classical traditional developer, seller. So sometimes they are not back on blockchain, but an interest.
Okay.
Because there are few schools to learn blockchain. There are few engineering schools to know how to build blockchain. So curiosity is required. It's important to be curious, to take interest, going to the meetup, going to event, follow something on Twitter, on Reddit, on LinkedIn. I don't care. But I have this curiosity, this hungry to learn something about blockchain. It's important. And furthermore, the ecosystem evolving rapidly, promptly. So it's important to have this in mind and to have the activity in mind about that. So myself is the most important thing. After curiosity is the next level.
Yeah.
To do some training. There's some education program on a few weeks on blockchain. For example, Symphony Updraft to show you how to use blockchain, develop on blockchain. It's a good formation. And France, you have also other program of education with Alira, Blockchain Business School. There are many. So
Okay.
I take interest of people take interest in the time to understand blockchain. For me, myself is the most important thing, being curious.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. And you as an entrepreneur, you also learn, and then, you learn about management, entrepreneurship. How do you get today? Maybe, you're far from accelerator now, maybe incubator, and you have your own offices. And so how do you, maybe not daily, but how do you take some new knowledge and learn about, management, because that's what you're doing a lot, and training, and in sales and marketing.
That's a good question because firstly, I'm very curious.
Okay.
So I take time to learn things very different from the tech world because tech is only a little part of entrepreneurship. You can be an entrepreneur with no tech background.
True.
So when I go on a shop, on a retail, I take care of how the thing are presenting, because there's some nugget of interesting nugget, valuable nugget. So firstly, I'm very curious because if I was not curious, I could not learn something about selling. And I'm reading many books.
Okay.
Many books about selling, many books about negotiation, how to negotiate, how to sell, how to do a story, branding story, how to do some 20 sell method as growth hacking. And first thing important for myself is to, when I read or take a book, is that the book was wrote by the author that invent the concept. For example, with growth hacking, many people talking about growth hacking, but don't understand really what is growth hacking.
Yeah.
So I've just read the book of Hacking Growth. What is the name of the author of Hacking Growth? Remember or not?
I don't remember.
What a member of YC invent the concept
okay.
of growth hacking. So all is clear and factual and be applied. Because after that, other person takes the concept, add the layer, is layer not cool.
You can read it all over again, or is it there are like, you know, what are the maybe 5 resources, maybe not just books? I don't.
Hacking growth optional is very good book if you want to learn growth hacking. You have all the methods to try something incrementally and test this thing. I love this book. However, I follow news. So,
Okay, news.
So about tech startup, I follow the YC Hacker News.
Yeah.
It's a little website of YC. You can publish something.
Sure.
And have the last news, very, very last news, because YC entrepreneur publish something, be big entrepreneurs, Apple publish something. So there are nuggets of so delicious for entrepreneurs. After that, yes, I'm reading books, listening podcasts. I take care of sometimes going event, not tech event, random event to learn something in marketing and selling.
To stay.
Could be in retail, could be in selling something in supply chain, because there are many things interesting to our.
How many, how much time do you dedicate? Or is it based on your feeling and the need that you have at the moment?
I have a time budget because listening me, I take all my time to listen thing. I allocate 10% of my time to learning new thing. Each month I say, this day, I can learn something. I want to learn, I don't know, could be a marketing approach, could be a tech approach, could be selling, accountability, finance, corporate finance, recruiting. I take this time to learning, going a special event, reading a book, or just to follow a newsletter.
You know, and let's talk about maybe the day before this event, this learning day, and there's always something urgent coming up, you know, like a customer not paying, a customer you have to go through, you know, and you know, how do you, dedicate yourself to actually learning?
That's a good question. When I'm going to an event, I think that I'm not going to India. I'm going to Paris. It's just take 2 hours. Take a tour, talking with people, just 2 hours. After that, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I have many things to do.
True.
So it's my
accountability, your responsibility. Okay.
So it's my day life. So I can allocate 10 or maybe sometimes 5% of my time. It's possible. Yes, actually, it's possible. Early time I started this was hard, yes, of course. But I did this for 4 years ago. So now
it's an habit.
Yes,
it's a habit. Right. What are the topics you had the most trouble learning? Like, is it management? Is it recruiting? Is it ops, business ops?
The most I have many struggles because entrepreneur have many problems.
True.
If you don't like problem, don't be an entrepreneur. My struggle now is about my objective for 2025. I want to approach new target, financial world. So how to approach this? I take some learning and some recommendations. So I met some people to have some recommendation. So I approach that. It's my main struggle. After this podcast, going to talk to another person.
Do you go in to talk to a customer?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's pump you up and get you the energy for this events. What's your passion outside of work? You know, your passion is about Web3 and blockchain, but for the audience, do you have anything
of course,
you
I
love?
like tech, entrepreneurship, but for myself, it's important to disconnect to this.
Okay.
I'm swimming once and twice a week.
Okay.
1 hour, and I love dancing.
Dancing?
Dancing.
Yeah.
Currently, I dancing the walk, so couple dancing.
Yeah.
And one time I love dancing Latin dancing, so salsa, tango. So I love these synergies.
So you never skip it, you know, when it happened. It's like you're learning.
Sometimes I skip a course.
Okay.
Because I'm an entrepreneur, of course. But for myself, it's important to allocate this time to something new, definitely. Because we are human. We are not only our job. No, I'm not only a tech guy. I'm not an engineer. I'm someone interesting who could do other things. I love also cooking.
Okay, you love cooking?
Yes.
Perfect.
So I I follow some recipe and on changing recipe. I love changing myself to do something
New and learn. What was your source of inspiration when you look up to an entrepreneur? Do you have a model? Maybe not someone, like Bill Gates or Elon Musk, maybe someone, middle level, or it doesn't matter, because sometimes we don't always look up to the star. We just look up to, somebody we say, okay, he's reached 100 people and, I want to get there. I want to.
I'm not only one model.
Okay.
I think every entrepreneur has something to share. Every entrepreneur is a story, and a story is a succession of challenges. So I love listening stories of every entrepreneur. Could be a tech entrepreneur, someone has worked with Elon Musk, for example, but I can say that a normal entrepreneur, something I don't know, manage kebab in Paris, someone can manage a local for the supply chain. For me, it's important because every people has met a challenge. It could be interesting. And in this mode, this type of mindset you can find in every entrepreneur, things that motivate me, inspiring me. I think it's global. So I love doing networking events with different people. Sometimes I found very, very strange people.
Yeah, sure.
But yes.
What's the most unusual advice you got from, another entrepreneur in another industry? Maybe, like someone having a kebab, a restaurant, and you said, something that, shift your mindset and say, oh yeah, I need to implement that for it, set in stone.
Yes, one day I've talked to someone I've shop. What's her name for the air?
Hairdresser.
Hairdresser, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm French. Sometimes I lost my English.
It's okay.
Hairdresser. I'll tell you this question. You know the escargot method?
No.
In retail, it's important if you want to manage mini shop to have the time, the energy to manage this shop. And when the shop is new, there are many, many, many problems. And a problem could be very important. There are no liquidity for the shop, but could be just the coffee machine is not working. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So to manage this, it's important to adopt the escargot method.
Okay.
Your second shop should be close to the first. If you have open a shop in Paris, open another shop in Paris, close to this shop. The third one could be a little bit far from, but close again. Could be around Paris. After the first one, could be again far away. Could be in Rennes, for example, another city in France.
Yeah.
This kind of method. I think it's a good concept, simple method to apply. If you want to add another feature in your product, first feature, focus on your client needs. Second feature is close to your first feature to fit the first features. Third one could be a little bit far, but close again. And at the end, you have an escargot of features, as you can have an escargot of shop.
Cool. That yeah, that's a great advice. We actually talked about it just right before the interview. We don't have a Georgia Tech accelerator and incubator for startups in Europe, and that's something we can maybe implement and see going in the future. But if there are any entrepreneur out there, and I'm sure there are from my audience, what's your 5 years journey on your advice on your journey from setting stone and maybe now having let's say a good company running and working, for any tech entrepreneur out there, doesn't matter, it's a tech product, hardware, software, and they have some kind of an idea, maybe a little bit of product. What's your one or maybe a few tips to help them going?
I think the most difficult thing to do at this step of the life entrepreneur is just talking to your client, talking to someone who can help you. Because when you have an idea, I have a super idea, this is my computer, but if nobody challenge you, could not progress, could not do this step from a guy with an idea to a company. So going to networking event, going to talking to people. Good advice for this is when you're talking to someone, you have no network, you have no people. For example, I meet you, Jerome. Yeah. After this talk, I can ask you a question. For you, what is the smartest person you know in your network. You can found during the college, you can found during school, primary school, in the job. But what is the most smartest people in the field I work, I can ask after you. You have a recommendation.
Yeah, true.
Second one, you ask the same question of another recommendation. After that, you can have a base of network. It's a simple trick, very known in the entrepreneur world, but for myself, it's a good trick for this type of people.
And when you did that in the early years of Setting Stone, you even didn't focus really on your product. You're just getting feedback, right? Is that just getting to know people and the language, maybe because that's the case for you. You enter directly straight off school. You didn't do a blockchain major at Georgia Tech, I guess.
That's a good story about how I fall in the blockchain world.
Okay, let's go. It's 9 years ago, you said. No?
It was at Georgia Tech.
It was at Georgia Tech,
yes.
okay. Okay, Georgia Tech.
I did many things at Georgia Tech. So at Georgia Tech, I was curious and I want to discover new technology. I know AI, I know electronics, but I want to discover something new. So I did many meetups at Georgia Tech.
Okay.
To find people. And Atlanta is a hub on financial and fintech. So many financial companies in a new technology. So one day, in the fintech meetup, I found someone, strange guy, so been not looking at the other, talking to him, hey, what are you doing? I'm doing blockchain. The first time
I've heard the word.
heard word blockchain. What is blockchain? Blockchain. Do you know Bitcoin and the magic money of internet? No, I don't know. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I was very curious because this guy have a big conviction. I did not understand many things because it was very new for me. So I dig up the topic. I go on the forum, I go to another meetup and say, that's interesting, very new. And it was my mate of blockchain. And I found the value of blockchain, what it can bring, and I found the rabbit hole of Alice of Marvelous World.
Yeah.
Is why I'm in blockchain now. Because I met someone I not expect in a meetup many years ago.
Yeah, that's a good thinking because you went out of your way because you are a MS master in electronics at Georgia Tech.
Computer engineering, something with engineering in computer, yes.
Yeah, and so you went to a fintech event.
As a good engineer, very technical.
And so you went to a fintech event where you knew no one, and you went out of your comfort zone, and now we're here today because of this, because you got curious and you stayed open-minded on technology. So that's a good example. That's actually one of the tips I'm using in 2025. Mm-hmm. It's once a month or once every 2 months. It's going to a place where I know nobody, and it's even out of my circle. Like no entrepreneur, no VC, no tech. Let's meet some real estate people. Let's meet some fintech people. Let's meet some. There's still tech. Yeah, true. But I try to do this a bit on a regular basis. Actually, we reached already the end of our interview. But according to you, who should be sitting in this chair?
I have many recommendations.
Okay, go ahead.
I take my phone, so...
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm many thinking about this question because I know many entrepreneurs. But I think it would be interesting to have in this type of podcast something working in a very technical, very specific technical area.
I'm definitely going to take that list after, of course. But it's also to let the opportunity to our audience to get to know, fantastic tech entrepreneurs.
And the question is interesting because you are a Georgia Tech guy, so you can talking to other Georgia Tech guy. And so I have two recommendations for you. First one is a little bit famous, is Jan Lau Alra, CEO of Diveco.
Okay.
So because for electric car, you need a charging station.
Yes.
He developed charging station in France. So he raised many money. Could be interesting to have a feedback. And someone else, someone is working in a very deep tech project. Headset to learn to record your emotion.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
emotion, listen music, have your emotion, you feeling that is the CTO of now X is Emmanuel Lange. Why
Okay.
not?
Okay, cool.
I met him at Stationery one day. I
Okay.
found this product interesting. I don't take time to talk to him, so why not?
Cool. Thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you very much for this interview. It was great having you here and presenting Set in Stone.
So thank you very much for my first podcast. Again, I'm very excited. So thank you again.
And that's a wrap on today's episode with Thomas Benoit, the CEO of Set in Stone. It's always inspiring to have an entrepreneur like Thomas pushing boundaries in cybersecurity, tech, and blockchain. What stood out for me is the way that Thomas and his company is balancing innovation with a clear commitment to have an impact for customers and for the environment as well. It's a reminder that technology can and should serve a greater purpose. So if you're inspired as I am, and if you want to talk about Set in Stone work, I invite you to follow him, follow his newsletter, as well as explore their work. So that's Set in Stone, visible on LinkedIn, as well Reddit and Telegram. And don't forget to follow Reactor Podcast for more conversation like this. Thank you for listening, and we see you in the next episode. Bye.